Today is a momentous occasion in movie remake history right now.
Another one, huh?
As I said, man, I'm going to repeat it for those of you who didn't hear it before. You know, we have the new, spanking new, fresh Charlie's Angels, man.
Okay.
I'm the lead programmer on a product that can revolutionize the power industry.
But there is a possibility it can be weaponized.
Lana, we need to go.
No. You know, it's a long history with this property because we had Charlie's Angels, the original from the 1970s.
Yep, I remember it.
It was such a point of nostalgia for the Generation X kids out there that they even did a remake back in 2000. Charlie's Angels, 2000, that's what they called it. And now we have Charlie's Angels now.
Oh, that's a good
Charlie's
title.
Angels today. Boy, I should work in marketing. We got right there in the middle, you see, we have Kristen Stewart back. You know, she was out on the indie circuit for a while.
That's right.
You know, trying to shed that light of being a chick that vampires. You know, she's trying to shed that image. So now, after doing the indie thing, she's back as the edgy angel, Sabrina Wilson. We got the deadly angel who used to be in MI6, and that is Ella Balinska.
Okay.
As Agent Jane Cano. And then you got Jasmine herself. Jasmine said, "You know what? I ain't no goddamn princess. You know, I'm not. I don't need no man. You know, I'm a tough woman. I can do what these other angels do. But she's got to learn the ropes first a little bit. You know, she's the new MIT nerd of the group.
Oh, okay.
Who's not as edgy, not as deadly, and certainly not as cool as the rest of the gang.
She's like the audience character.
She's like us.
Useless.
Yeah, just useless. Yeah, just dumb and not cool. Maybe we're taking a coding class or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, Corey? You can put all these titles on here, and they can look hot as all they want. But you know, it's what? I gotta see them in action. What do they do? You told me their titles, but what do they actually do when it comes to saving the world? Let's go ahead and take a look at this new trailer. Okay. For Charlie's Angels now. And we'll be back with our impressions. I don't think a lot of people are going to be happy with that.
I'm just a
Damn, they just lynched that dude.
Well, I love it. So early on, it's like, those are his bodyguards, right? They have the slowest reflexes out of anybody. They know what she's doing something bad to me. Like, what's happening?
Did you see?
Should we pull out our guns? They're nervous.
Didn't do this motherfucker over here getting lynched, and they ain't doing a thing. Look at
like, that's kind of weird.
Should we do so? Man, fire their ass today.
Good.
Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I get nervous whenever a movie's sold by a soundtrack.
The choice of music in this is just, for me, just didn't work at all.
Well, they're making a big deal about the teaming up of Ariana Grande and Miley Cyrus and Lana Del Rey. I didn't know that these were the new Avengers. You know,
that's the new triumvirate.
Yeah. I didn't know. You know that because. Featuring the new hit single. Anytime you're using a trailer to sell a new song, I'm a little nervous. You know, I know, but these are very popular artists, so of course, I get it. How are you feeling about this right now?
I mean, with me, I have had really no big exposure to Charlie's Angels. You know, I mean, I saw maybe a couple episodes of the original TV show from the 70s, and I thought it was fine. I saw the
Where'd you
first...
see some episodes of that?
It was on TV Land.
Oh, TV Land.
Yeah. And then I had watched the Charlie's Angels 2000, as you call it, and I thought, okay, this is like it's a kind of a dull action comedy, but I know that it definitely has its fans because they made a sequel, which I have not seen. With this one, it's like, look, I don't like a lot of what they're showing the trailer in terms of the action and the soundtrack they have playing on top of it. I think it's almost overwhelming. It's distracting from it. But I will say, like some of the performances, like Kristen Stewart at the very least, I kind of like what she's bringing to it. this the spy who has this sense of physicality, but is kind of like quirky to a certain extent, but not like dumb or anything like that. Not like some of the other characters in the first the original movie from 2000. Like that. Okay, I can kind of see the humor coming through in this. I just think there's a lot of stuff in this that's just distracting.
You know what? I got to say that first of all, I can, on the positive side, I can get with this, man. You know, I'm looking at this and it definitely takes me back to another movie that to be honest, I looked at the trailer and said, I'm not really crazy about it. When I saw the movie, I thought the movie was really great.
The Kingsman agents are the new knights.
You know, not exactly the same theme, you know, that we're talking about more of a James Bond refined type thing. But as far as giving you like this whole twist on a spy theme, you had the Kingsman and now women are getting their sort of spy themed action comedy perhaps thing going on here.
Yeah.
And you know, and so I'm cool with it on that end. And also I'm looking at some of the things that they do here, like I always love spy stuff with gadgets and costumes, man.
And sleight of hand stuff too, like right in front of people's faces, like
sleight of hand.
Cool. Yeah.
You know, I tell you, man, I'm a sucker for that kind of shit. If you actually change costumes and a spy thing, I love that. I don't know why, man. It's because it can be silly sometimes.
Because you look cool, it looks smooth, even as goofy as it is. It's like, okay, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, man. I don't know where it is, man. Maybe it's because I just like dressing up in costume too. But you pull some Halloween shit with the with a spy thing. I love that, man. And they actually kind of pay homage to that, not only by doing it themselves, but if you look at the trailer in certain parts, I think they have it in there where you see a couple of you see like a German costume and an Evel Knievel costume there, and Drew Barrymore wore both those.
Right. Callbacks to the first.
Yeah, callbacks to the first one. So on that end, I'm thinking, yeah, man, this could be a lot of fun. I'm not gonna just run out the gate hating.
Yeah,
you know.
No, and like I said, like people have kind of gone after Kristen Stewart in the past. Even though I think she's a good actress. I've seen some of the indie films that she's appeared in, and I thought she did a good job. It always depends on how it's written, how it's directed. And like I said, I think she's the one that stands out in the trailer because she seems to be having fun with the material. You know, and I totally buy her doing a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, hanging Asian dudes.
Like, yeah. No, it's like even like when they did her little montage briefly when you see her like all those action scenes and she's dressed up, but she knows that she's sexy too. She like slaps her ass like with that little thing, but it's not like an overly sexual. She's like, look, I'm good at my job. Yeah. I can manipulate any of these people around here, and she's not like obnoxious about it. It's like I kind of dig that. That's really cool. She feels really confident.
I'm glad you said that. Look, I don't want to hear none of y'all talk about us objectifying and being sexist or anything like that. I love a pat on the ass, man.
Yeah, I like booty butts. Everyone does.
I like to be slapped. I like to be slapped on the ass, and I like slapping ass. And I don't, this girl up here, and unless she's using the body double, I mean, she's working it too, because she's switching them ass cheeks back and forth, and look at that right there, and slapping. I'm like, look, that's meant to be kind of sexual. I don't know what it is. I find that high.
No, I did. It worked for me on different levels. Both, I think, with the character,
grandma pants on right there.
Oh, it's the jockey, right? Is that what it is? But no, I think everything that they showcased with her in the trailer is like, this really works. I like that.
Yeah, I do too, man. I guess my question is, watching this, we can get just a little serious right now.
Sure.
Hey,
I was positive at first.
I'm being positive too, man.
Yeah.
I'm being, because look, I ain't, again, I'm gonna be upfront with you. Today, you talk about something that has strong women in it. You take the risk if you criticize, of not getting it, complaining, not letting women have theirs. A man have had it all the time.
Of course.
I like I said, man, I'm just gonna be upfront with you. I just don't want to hear your shit. So I'm being positive. No, I'm being positive and I'm being serious with what I say. I think this could be a lot of fun. My question is, and it's trending now. I know this trailer's trending. My question is there an audience for this? And what I'm saying is, look, I know it's probably trending because of some of the people that we have here. The song that's in there, is probably something that people are trending. You know, you having Ariana Grande just in your tagging is probably making this thing trend. And Miley, Cyrus, and Lana Del Rey. Now, my thing is the movie itself. Let's take the pop stars. We'll talk about the movie.
Sure.
From a female power message standpoint, I could say that yes, there is an audience for this. It's a very popular thing now. I think that this is something that after seeing the Avengers and seeing, all the female heroines come together and everything, people are ready for a full movie of action where women are taking control and kicking ass in it.
Right.
So yeah, from that standpoint, I could see that. From the interest of just the property itself,
that's the thing.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. And see, let me explain something to you real quick, because Generation X, my generation, we were cool with the Charlie's Angels remake that came out then because we grew up with Charlie's Angels, so the nostalgia was strong with us. Mm-hmm. We was still joking about 70s TV shows and how cheesy they were, and that's the thing with this, man, is that if you look at the trailer for the remake. The trailer even had that sort of the way Generation X used to joke about some stuff from the 70s and before that. The trailer was kind of conscious of that and made fun of itself. It made fun of itself not only for the property and probably how silly it was for being a show from the 70s, but also because at the time there was you think it's crazy now with the remakes. Yeah. There was so many remakes going on and remakes of TV shows happening.
Oh. Another movie from an old TV show.
What are you gonna do?
Walk out.
Now, I'll probably show you a little bit of that trailer where it goes in a little bit, a little cameo by LL Cool J making that joke, that self-referential joke.
You instantly know that this is set in like the late 90s, early 2000s when he's in it. It's like, this is like Deep Blue Sea territory for him. It's like, I'm in everything.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
When LL Cool J was popping up in everything. I don't even think he was supposed to be in this movie.
No.
I think they actually, I think LL Cool J really was coming from a flight from Africa in this. And he just said, y'all making a movie? Oh, wait a minute, let me do a line. Yeah. But if you look at this, man, from the moment, like you said, from the jump, they are making fun of all of this.
Show.
What are you gonna do?
Walk out.
Who are you people?
That's not as good as Mission Impossible. That was horrifying.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore is taking over LL Cool J. She skinned LL Cool J and took his face.
No, she's pulling Arya Stark. Well, I love it because when she takes the mask off, she drops like 50 pounds too with it. It's like, wait, it doesn't work that way.
That technology, man.
Yeah.
That Mission Impossible technology.
It's advanced.
Well, I feel sorry for the guy that was with her at the time. He was kind of like, hey, I know this is good, but can you put the LL Cool J mask back on?
So I can get it up.
Sex, yeah.
Please.
She's naked, wearing nothing but an LL Cool J mask and a dashiki.
Very specific fetish.
But man, also that they know that this is so silly that they don't even give a shit with some things. Like, do you see that green screen right there?
I know. It's just CGI and green screen, blue screen.
See, that CGI plane is terrible, but if you see, they've ramped up everything in this to not to just with they didn't just go extreme with the action. Right. They did it with the comedy, man. Yeah. They're like, we know that this is insane. So,
campiness to a certain degree.
Yeah, exactly. So they just went over the top with everything, and they could because they had a very big sense of humor about that. When I look at what they do now with this, I'm wondering, man, is this really even going back to the TV show, or is this just something that if you took everything out of there, this is just a generic thing? No,
and that's the thing where it's like I would almost want this just to be on its own and not be Charlie's Angels, because I think look, Charlie's Angels is an extremely niche thing. It's not doesn't have like a specific relevance anymore with people. I mean, yeah, you had the reboot back in the day, but they did a sequel which I don't think did particularly well.
Full Throttle, that didn't do well at all.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe it did. I can't remember.
And that's that. And that's the thing. It's like they just seem to like we have to brand this, even though it has very little to do with the franchise. And there'll be some winks and nods, but had they just kind of had this be it's a totally new thing. It's a spy agency. Maybe it's with just women or something. I'd be fine with that. I just don't know why they have to have it be Charlie's Angels.
And even when you do that, man, it's like
borrowed from Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, because even when you go back to Charlie's Angels, look, they've taken this and they've made it. You know, if you don't remember the show Charlie's Angels, it was 3 chicks who worked for the police, and they were brought into the Townsend agency, and so they were sort of like, I guess you could say they were spies, but they were also sort of like just kind of like super cops in a way.
Yeah, mercenary.
They were each assigned very hazardous duties, but I took them away from all that.
They put disco in everything for every show. Shows that didn't need it, man. They just
It's a popular thing, man.
Yeah, shit. They had cooking shows, man. Open up with disco music. What I love about that disco music, if you listen very carefully, you can hear the Wild Chicka Wild guy. You can hear the guy that just got through playing for a porn shoot a little while ago. Like there's a dude just like make music for. This is back in the day. Y'all think of like porn is mainstream now. Back in the day, a dude would just get through shooting or recording for porn, music for porn, and he'd go up and shoot for Charlie's Angels.
Sure.
Found a sound effect.
There was those action scenes.
Oh, Pete, this is back in the day, boy, when every teenage dude was jacking off to this show. Because of Farrah Fawcett, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know, that famous poster that she had. Yeah, Farrah Fawcett, she was rest in peace, man. But she was the girl back then.
And then women emulated her entire look, the hair and everything like that. Did she have like a brand? Like it was Farrah Fawcett?
Yeah, man, they had that feathered hair. That was all her.
I know about that.
Yeah, but look at you, man, yeah.
Rock my own Farrah Fawcett.
My own little Farrah Fawcett right here, all feathered and coiffed.
Right, very coiffed.
Look, hey, can you pose like that? No, you got to go over there and like get on all fours, man. Yeah, let me see that, man, yeah. Let me get down here. I'll show you right here. Look at that. Yeah, let me. Oh shit. There it is. Okay, just stand. The show had its thing because it was part of his. You know, it was such a product of his period. The sequel did so well because the sequel was just able to like kind of do a 21 Jump Street with it,
right?
You know, make it very funny. I tell you what I'm thinking of when I look at this, because I think, you know, it might be a fun spy film, but does it capture anything about Charlie's Angels? I don't know.
Sure.
I tell you what I'll tell you what it reminds me of. When I look at this, it takes me back to a movie that everybody was excited about, and it opened up to terrible reviews because at the time, it was based on a property and didn't do too much. Can you guess what I'm thinking of?
Oh, is it recent?
No, it's about over 10 years ago.
No.
Yeah, this one people were looking forward to this movie because of the nostalgia, and this is even more closer to the Gen X period. And it came out, and it was just a generic action film.
Guilty verdicts for this Alpha Unit or A-Team.
Hell no, ain't stepping.
You know, okay, so you get it. You know, I had a little knockoff Mr. T and everything. It's like this
lowercase T.
Yeah, this little T. You know, this was the A-Team, man, based on the '80s show. And you know, when I watched the A-Team, you know, again, the A-Team was something special from its period. When you watch this, man, this is like, okay, besides having, you know, somebody have a haircut like Mr. T, these characters taking on some of the personalities. You know, it looks like an A-Team cover band. You know, because they just not, you know, when you take away all these little details that, you know, by name call it the A-Team, it's just an action film.
Yeah, and that's what it kind of looks like. I never saw this movie. I only saw the trailers. It looked like a generic action movie, of its time. And yeah, you had some pieces of the aesthetic of the original show, but not enough where it's like, oh yeah, that reminds me of that. No, it's like you're right. It is like a cover band.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, when I look at Charlie's Angels, I kind of think the same thing, man. I'm thinking like, all right, you know, this is cool, but it looks like, what is it about Charlie's Angels here that's really going back to the show? Other than, oh, you know, we'd have the names, we have the branding, but outside of that, we're just kind of any spy film that you probably have seen before. Again, nothing to criticize us heavily for. It's just that we would see a lot of remakes where they had the property and they didn't do anything special with it.
Yeah, they didn't do anything particularly unique. And that's why it's like from the trailer, it's like I almost wish it just had nothing to do with Charlie's Angels, because I don't think it's necessary.
That's true.
Sell it just on the marketing and the concept. And I feel like this trailer is having a positive impact amongst certain people. I mean, I like certain elements of it, not everything. But it's like, okay, you at least have me interested to a certain extent.
Yeah. Or, you know, one thing I hope they don't do also, and here's where you really are going to call us, call me probably, you know, somebody who's just like these nerd guys out here who can't stand to see a strong woman, which is
not true.
Can't be the furthest from the truth. But I will say, again, I think it's very trendy to have strong females in a movie, which is amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
But when you make that your main theme that draws attention to itself, I don't know if I really like it. Like when you do it that way, and that's another thing that I'm seeing here is like, okay, I hope that just this isn't a theme that's just going to keep popping up and reminding us, like, yes, these are strong females.
And that's the one thing I'm worried about, where they constantly like overtly say it like through dialogue or something like that. No, just have them do the actions, and that's what makes them strong characters. And they are by in regards to that, along with that, also strong. They just happen to be also strong females as well. Just have them do what they're supposed to do, and then we'll go along with it. But don't stop the movie and then call attention to it. That's the problem. That's what bothers me in media, when you're just being so over the top, like just bashing our heads in with it, being blunt about it. Then it doesn't feel organic.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say one more thing. And at least in this trailer, I didn't get that sense that they were bashing me over the head with that. There wasn't like specific line of dialogue that they said. It's like, this is a women's. We're going to do a man's job. This is a women's spy agency. There was nothing like that. They were just doing their jobs in that. At least that's what I saw. I might have missed something.
I saw that at first.
Okay.
And then they got it out the way.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of things that they did to kind of remind me. I said, okay, you know, in small doses, this is good. I mean, you know, at the beginning of the movie, I mean, who is she beating up? She's beating up a guy, not just a guy. She's beating up a complete sexist of a guy.
I think women can do anything.
Just because they can doesn't mean they should.
You know, it's like, okay, you know, so I get it. We from the jump, all right, man of shit, you know, which they are, you know, sometimes, but I get it. Also, you know, the whole thing with, right now, Bosley. Bosley is now a woman. Bosley is played by, let's see if I can find
the director.
The director, Elizabeth Banks, man.
She has full control.
Who is in it. And she's reminding you, too. She opens up the trailer. Hey, everybody, look at my movie. She is playing a role that has traditionally been for a man, or has been played by a man.
Right.
The
handler guy.
If you watch, like if you see some of the, see here, dog. I thought somebody was coming in.
Get mad at us.
If you see these women are rioting outside right now, if you see some of the, if you've seen the Charlie's Angels movies from the past, you know, the remakes from the 2000s, you know, you see that Bosley was played by Bill Murray at first, and then in Full Throttle, it was played by Bernie Mac, which I love these two pictures, man. You can't get no different. Bernie Mac is like, man, I better be careful with these white women right now. You know?
Seems a little scary.
It's like, police could come in here and animal, you know, and Bill Murray just kind of like, yeah, what's up, girl?
It's funny enough, apparently, like, because that's Lucy Liu, right?
Yeah, that is Lucy Liu.
Her and, like, Bill Murray despise each other on set. Like, there was a lot of bad blood.
Was that a thing?
Yeah. Well, he basically said you can't act.
Oh, he told her?
Yeah. They almost got into like a physical altercation.
Wow, is that what you telling her right now? Damn, girl, you suck.
I think so. It was when she was trying to, like, he always improvs, and she was trying to improv. He's like, listen, don't do that.
Yeah, okay.
That's what it was.
She was trying to, okay. Damn, it really does look like he's telling her that right now. You know, sweetheart, leave that to me.
Yeah, it's like, honey.
Yeah.
It's like, ew. Did they call attention to the fact that, like, he became like a black man in the sequel? No?
Well, they did. They said that, but in a way where they just didn't give a shit.
That's funny.
Bernie Mac said, "Yeah, he's my half brother. He's my." I don't even think he say half brother. I think he's like, "That's my brother."
Yeah.
And they didn't explain anything after that. They didn't say who was adopted by who. You know, you don't know if it was just like the black man, you know,
like
brother, slang, like, hey, brother. You know, I know if he's brother or brother. You know, the original Bosley. David Doyle right there. That was the guy that played it in the original. So you see the whole history of Bosley has been a man. I like, and again, this picture's funny too. But he just doesn't want to look at them. He's trying not to get in trouble with his wife.
I know, that's funny.
Looking straight at the camera, baby.
Like Bill Murray's the only one to talk shit. Everyone else is scared.
Yeah, Bill Murray like, shit, I ain't got nothing to lose.
I'm Bill Murray.
Yeah, what y'all doing tonight? But now, as you can see, it's being played by Elizabeth Banks, and I think that's another thing where it's like, hey, now these women, they're not being handled by a guy; they're being handled by a woman in charge right here. Even though I think that Charlie is Patrick Stewart. Is he?
That's what I was confused about, because I thought like Patrick Stewart was Charlie, but then he's always over the radio, right? But then he's walking in and talking with them all the time. But I don't know. Maybe did that sound like him on the radio? I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either.
It sounded different.
It looked like he just got beamed down from the Enterprise and shit. When he said, "Hey, girls."
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know what character he is. If I probably bothered to look at the credits, I probably know.
Yeah, maybe he's a new character.
Yeah, man. Other things in here. I am happy to see. What is her name? Naomi Scott? Is that her name? The chick from Aladdin.
Yeah. She's from Aladdin.
Yeah. I'm happy to see her showing her range immediately, man. Naomi Scott, who we just mentioned from Aladdin, right here.
This princess.
Yeah, she's there. She's going from being a princess and playing it pretty straight to being in sort of kind of this geeky comedic role right now.
Sure. Well, she's done that even in Power Rangers when she played the Pink Power Ranger.
That's right. She was in Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I heard people talking about that.
It's kind of like her wheelhouse then, what she's doing.
Yeah,
a lot of genre stuff.
Yeah, she's on the come up, man. So yeah, I'm like I said, man, I'm not totally against this. Even the song, I'm kind of digging on. I come from a period where if a song was used to sell a movie or a soundtrack, sometimes the movie itself wasn't that strong.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's the one big thing that I disliked most about the trailer. I thought it was a distraction. And you should have sold it on your premise and your three leads, and I think have it with Kristen Stewart kind of being the focus with that. I think that was working for me in particular.
No matter what the casting is, like I said, you can cast a whole black spy film. I don't care if it feels like we've covered this ground before. That's where I'm a little worried. No, and that's what it's looking like right now.
Honestly, I was thinking of another kind of spy property that borrowed from Charlie's Angels was Totally Spies, which is a cartoon series from back in the day. I'm like, this has more in common with Totally Spies than Charlie's Angels, especially from the original. If they were basically mercenary cops, it's like I could see that. Okay. Live action version of that.
I have it right here.
Oh, you do?
I brought it right up because I said once they introduced Patrick Stewart in there, I was like, now this was a French cartoon from back in the 90s, man. Or, no, early 2000s, I believe. Was it the 90s? It was
it was early 2000s.
It was early 2000s.
Yeah, totally
okay, yeah, it was the same thing. Except they had a butler that got them out of trouble. It was and like I said, it was a French cartoon. Totally Spies. Jesus, they should have just made a Totally Spies movie.
Yeah. I loved this show back in the day. This was so much fun.
That actually makes more sense because, like I said, Charlie's Angels was for Generation X. And so we had the nostalgia for that. Yeah. The later generation has the nostalgia for this right here.
My generation, millennials, baby. Yeah.
Totally Spies.
Yeah, it was more of like, it was a riff on James Bond, if anything.
Yeah.
That's why it works so well.
Yeah, man. No, this is that probably would have been a better theme, and I would have seen that at least for the demographic that they're trying to appeal to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that has more. I think that cartoon has more cultural relevance, with my generation right now than anything with Charlie's Angels.
Yeah,
so very bizarre.
Shit, they even got Naomi Scott in there, man.
Yeah. That's true.
It's funny because they all they did was just shop a lot. They hardly did any spying, man.
Well, no, they did spy.
I'm joking, man. I'm kidding. He's like,
no, pretty me down, goddamn it. I watched the show. No, I liked it. They were basically teenagers in high school.
Yeah.
And they did all the, teenage stuff.
Yeah,
they had sleepovers and they went shopping and things. But they went and battled supervillains and toppled governments and stuff. And they definitely killed some people. Or it's heavily implied that something bad, one of their villains who was super handsome came back in another episode. It's and he's all deformed and robotic. It's you did this to me.
Wow, because they did that. They blew him up or something.
Yep. Yeah, and he's like, everyone used to love me, and now they despise me. So I'm going to ruin your lives.
There's your boy right there.
Here it is. Yeah, he's the pick man. Yeah, there he is.
Turned his ass into RoboCop.
That's the guy.
Jesus, you bitches! Oh man. Well, maybe they'll do this one day.
Someday.
There's still hope.
There is.
You know what? Let's hope that this Charlie's Angels bombs so that we can actually get a Totally Spies movie.
Let's try with that property.
Well, we'll see how it's going to work out, man. Like I said, I'm not trying to be negative on this. We'll see if this can actually, I mean, even if it doesn't really do anything that connects directly to Charlie's Angels outside of the name. And
other than visual cues, too.
That, too. This could still be something that stands on its own and something fun. So, we'll see. We'll see.
Hope for the best.
Yeah. Hope for the best, see the worst. No, it's gonna be all right. November. That's when this is coming out.
That shows they have confidence in it.
Yeah, I don't have a date yet. They just said Charlie's Angels in theaters in November. November what? We'll never know. Thanks for watching, everybody. Oops, what is that right there? That's the subscribe button that you're tripping over. Just hit that and then you can go. But before you do leave, can I get you to do one more thing? And that is check out our main site, doubletoasted.com. Over there, you'll find the full version of this video, uncensored, unedited. And also, you'll see the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us at dtmerch.com. And remember to always stay toasty.